Hi, I'm Rodriguez and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation for building some of the finest agents in the industry. I help to manage that process from day one. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business, then I would like to show you how I can help.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Since COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants, and so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Forever Memories, Antiques and North Sam Houston in San Benito is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
Since COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants, and so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
The Harlingen CISD elementary experience looks something like this. Let's see that again. To learn more about the HCISD elementary experience, visit hcisd.org.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
And he throws it down.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, and we appreciate you tuning in as we are going through some audio issues as well. Right now, an official timeout on the field as we're waiting right now. The score clock operations have been halted. I think they're trying to get the lights to turn on. If you're just joining us, this is the Tornadoes and the Bone Crushers in our coverage of the Big South Football League. Here from John Paul II in Corpus Christi, Texas. Those watching, please assist us. Tune in, and then once you've tuned in, share the link on our social media. On Facebook, share the link to other fans who may not know these games are going on. And we also need the assistance on the YouTube channel of subscribing to the YouTube channel if you can. Again, the audio issue, we've got that corrected. Score clock reads 9 minutes and 14 seconds when we stopped it on that timeout. Looking out on the field, they're taking a look at the teams involved. The Tornadoes have the ball, the Tornadoes that is, in the black uniforms with the white trim. They started the drive after the kickoff went into the end zone. So they started at their own 25. They've converted on a fourth down during this drive. And the lights are coming on. Taj Body takes the snap, hands it off, running play, gets out across the 45. Ball all loose on the field. I believe they'll blow that dead, but wait and see. Now they'll call it down. Carried by Jared Comer Marshall. But he laid that football on the ground. Good news is the lights are coming on. We started this game, and you can see there, Rudy's got that camera fired right in on the lights. Started this game with a little bit of sunshine left in the sky, and then as it drifted below the horizon, we're dealing with twilight conditions. But these lights will take care of that. Taj Body, the quarterback for the Tornadoes, takes it, hands it off. Man hit in the backfield, got forward, will not get to the line of scrimmage. Down he goes. Mackenzie Gilquesto on the carry. And there was just no way he could get any momentum going forward on fourth down. A turnover on downs, and the Bone Crushers will take over. as the defense gets a stop here. Ball at the 45 of the Tornadoes. Bone Crushers. Keith Radix is the quarterback. And one big obstacle they'll have to overcome is they lost a couple of quarterbacks last week in action. They're still running the clock. And so we'll get to the 7-minute mark here before this first snap on the first drive for the Bone Crushers. They stopped the clock at 7:14, and first down play for the Bone Crushers. After a long count, handoff, they'll run it right side with some room out across the 40-yard line, fighting forward for about 6 yards. Carried that time by Damon Williams for the Bone Crushers. We're in the first quarter here at John Paul II High School in Corpus Christi. And a second down play here for Heretics. Two backs in the backfield for the Bone Crushers. Two receivers left side, single receiver right. They're showing a blitz up the middle. Heretics on a long count, takes it, hands it off. Room again in the secondary to the 30. Still on his feet inside the 25, down to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Damon Williams takes it to the house. Williams on the touchdown. If they allow it to stand, there's an official standing at about the 15-yard line that may blow him out of bounds there. I don't see that happening, though. Watch again on the carry by Williams. And no way did he go out of bounds, so that will be... But they'll mark it down at the 15 for the Bone Crushers. Hand off again, off left tackle, down around the 10-yard line. For the Bone Crushers. And a second down play coming up. Call it 4 yards to go. Radix waits. Hands it off again. Bouncing it outside. Now turning it upfield. Driving forward around the 10-yard line is Williams. Mark him down about 5 yards shy of the first down yardage. Peter Chapa, one of the other backs in the backfield for the Bone Crushers. All of this done on the ground thus far on this drive for the Bone Crushers. Radix brings him up. Behind him is Williams in the backfield. Heretics now goes to an I formation with Williams the deep back. Receivers either side of the field on this third and call it 5 yards to go. Hands it off, first man through. Drives forward, gets hit and driven back. Did not get first down yardage as they gave it to Peter Chapa. Now we'll take it the spot. They won't give him much on the gain. Call it 4th and 5, no gain. Chapa now with a couple of carries, 4 yards on the evening. And I'm going back to why they did not award a touchdown to Damon Williams. I'll go back and look at the replay again, but that looked like a clear-cut touchdown by Williams unless they, for some reason, blew his momentum dead as he was eluding a tackle. 4th and 5 for the Bone Crushers. They'll go for it. Heretics takes a snap. Going to keep it, bounces forward, gets hit, and will not make it. Good stop that time by the Tornadoes. Each team with a stop thus far here in this game. And the drive comes up short for the Bone Crushers. Bring the Tornadoes offense back on the field. This time they'll have to start the drive at the 10. Inside the 10, mark it down at the 9. Tornadoes on their first drive managed to net 23 yards on the offense. Nothing much on the ground. 3 of 3 in the passing game for 19 yards for Taj Body. Body this time will line up in the shotgun back inside the 5-yard line to receive the snap. 2 backs for protection. They're bunching up at the line of scrimmage, and the penalty flags come raining in before the snap. They'll call that against the Tornadoes. So a drive that was already starting deep in their own territory has taxed 5 more yards. First down still, now 15 yards to go for Taj Body. Again, they're bunching up the middle. Now they're showing a safety blitz, and here comes movement on the line again. This time they won't get 5 yards against the Tornadoes, but they'll get half the distance to the goal line. And take it down inside the 5 to near the 2.5 for the Tornadoes. Our coverage tonight of the Big South Football League coming on a Saturday. Body takes the snap, hands the ball off. Tried to sling a pass, nothing doing, incomplete. First time Body's misfired on a passing attempt. Three of 4 in the game for 19 yards. He's hit 3 different receivers. Rudy's dialing in the camera a little bit more. We were trying to get some housekeeping done here around the press box before this game. He'll have that dialed in and we'll be in good shape. Taj Body and the Tornadoes on second down. They got to get it out to the 20-yard line for a first down, so call it 2nd and 17.5. They'll hand it off on the draw play, and that goes nowhere. As the Bone Crushers were there to make the stop. And quickly 3rd down. For the Tornadoes. Got to get it to the 20 to get a first down. They converted on 4th down on their first drive. But here in this one, field position is about to play a part in this game if the Bone Crushers can get a stop against the Tornadoes. Body keeps one back with him in the backfield. Overloads the right side with the receivers. Here comes a blitz. They pick it up. He slings a pass left side. Picked off. 10-5. Touchdown. Easy pickings. You can see this. It was underthrown on the replay. And taking on the final tackler in the end zone, and the Bone Crushers on the board. Lead at 6-0. There were only 2 places in this field that Rudy and I were concerned with that we may have difficulties making it with a camera angle. And as the luck of the draw would happen, 2 plays so far here in the first quarter have come right into that spot in that corner of the end zone. 6-0, Bone Crushers. Extra point coming up. They'll line up to go for a 2-point conversion, or will they? Yes, lining up for a 2-point conversion of the Bone Crushers. Raddick's the quarterback. After the pick 6, trying to tack on 2 more. Looks to throw, right side, it's in the end zone. Caught, 2-point conversion is good. Bone Crushers lead it 8-0. They'll kick off after this on Real Sports Live.
See you later, touchdown.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
Back here on Real Sports Live as we are in the first quarter from John Paul II High School. Big South Texas, or Big South Football League. Between the Bone Crushers and the Tornadoes. Bone Crushers here in the Coastal Bend. The Tornadoes are out of the Tyler, Texas area. This is the beyond high school years that are participating in this contest. Bone Crushers will kick it off for a second time. First time they did so, it was drilled into the end zone and no return. Put it in play here. Returnable kick inside the 10, fielded there. Bring it out across to the 15, middle of the field to the 20. Nice move made. Reverse field to the 25. Out across the 30 to the 33-yard line for the Tornadoes. Terrific return that time by DeAndre Wojtowski. Brought some lightning to the effect. We'll lighten that camera up here just a bit as we can. We'll do so by changing a filter. We may end up having to change our camera position altogether at the end of this quarter, so stick with us when I take the commercial break. Tornadoes with the ball. Taj Body, the quarterback. Fumbles the football. They'll pick it up, but lose a bundle. No chance on that as that ball was just bouncing around. And brings up second down. Clock runs down. That's the end of our first quarter of play. We'll be back with the second quarter. We may have a different camera view for you as well. Back after this on Real Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. a district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
And he throws it down. Oh! See you later, touchdown.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibadas, try a Texas-style cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen.
And he throws it down. Oh! See you later, touchdown.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
Hi, I'm Rollo Rodriguez and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation for building some of the finest agents in the industry. I help to manage that process from day one. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business, then I would like to show you how I can help.
And he throws it down. Oh! See you later, touchdown.
Since COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people.
Back here on Rio Sports Live as we dial in the camera, we're in the second quarter. And it will be the Tornadoes with the football as we start the second frame. Had a good carry by Andre Kavanaugh. That bought him a new set of downs on this possession. Chase Smith also has a carry. And you're looking at a second down and 9 yards to go. Body drops back to throw. Swings a little screen pass, tipped and incomplete. And it brings up third down. We have had an interception here in this game. And you're going to see Rudy working frantically trying to get that camera in position. Had it dialed in. The next thing we're going to deal with is some like foggy conditions out there as well. Here at John Paul II in Corpus Christi. Bone Crushers with an 8-0 lead. That was on a pick six and a 2-point conversion. Tornadoes, third time they've had their hands on the football. Taj Body hands it off. They'll bounce it outside, trying to get to the corner, and out of bounds goes Chase Smith. Short yards gained. Smith's second carry of the night. And fourth down for the Tornadoes, and they'll bring in the punting team. From their own 44-yard line. Nathan Mary back to return the punt for the Bone Crushers. Stands inside his 15-yard line, expecting a big punt here from the Tornadoes. Tornadoes bring in Brandon Groves. He'll line up in punt formation back there. Mackenzie Gilquesta is back as a blocker on this fourth down play. Punting time for the Tornadoes. Good snap. Punt is away. End over end kick. Takes a bounce. Fielded by Mary inside the 5. Takes it to the right side to the 10. Down the sideline to the 20. And bounced out of bounds there. Gilquesta was right there to bump him out of bounds. And so the Bone Crusher offense will make their way onto the field with an 8-0 lead. 15-minute quarters here. We'll do our best to keep a relative close tab on that clock that you see on the scoreboard. I'm letting it run down. It's actually 11:55. You'll see that pause here. So 11:55 to go here in the first half. Bone Crusher offense has been limited to 48 yards in total offense. It was their defense that scored the points. And they'll bring it up here. Quarterback is Keith Radix. Damon Williams has had a big night carrying the football already. He lines up to his right-hand side on first down for the Bone Crushers. Low snap, they'll hand it off. Bounce it outside. This is Williams. Williams has some room across the 30. Drugged down at the 35. It's a 15-yard gain. Damon Williams credited for 15 yards. And one of the players shaken up after the play will blow the play dead. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with our coverage of the Big South Football League, the Bone Crushers and the Tornadoes. This is Real Sports Live.
So we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
Back here on Real Sports Live, it was Damon Williams that was shaken up after that play. Went off under his own power to the sideline for the Bone Crushers, but there goes a big chunk of their offense production thus far tonight. 4 carries, 56 yards for Damon Williams. And on one carry, it was a questionable could have been, should have been touchdown from our angle. That was called back to the 15-yard line. He clearly ended up in the end zone on the carry. So who'll take his place? Right now, Peter Chapa lines up in the backfield. Another back there with Chapa. Radix goes under center on this first down play. Second man through, hitting the backfield, will not get to the line of scrimmage. Drilled and thrown backwards by the Tornadoes. Gilquesta was there with some help. Ball carrier was Oscar Flores. But no gain on the play. Matter of fact, a loss of 3 on the first carry of the night for Flores. Watching on the sideline, they're still working on Damon Williams, their primary ball carrier here in the first half, on the sidelines after an injury during this drive. Second down and 14 yards to go for the Bone Crushers. 2 receivers line up wide right, another wide left, and then the whistle blows. Timeout on the field. Bone Crushers burn a timeout. 10:04 remaining here in the first half. Bone Crushers lead this one 8-0. We'll be back with more. This is Rio Sports Live.
Since COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants, and so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
Back to action here at John Paul II High School in Corpus Christi, Texas on a Saturday night. Bone Crushers taking on the Tornadoes. Bone Crusher with the football. 10:04 remaining in the half on a 2nd and 14. Radix takes the snap. Hands it off. They'll try left side. Again, another carry by Oscar Flores. He's tripped up. Got back around that 35-yard line. Gained a couple. But 3rd and long coming up for the Bone Crushers. Bone Crushers again out of the Corpus area. This Tornado team out of Tyler, Texas. Both teams 0-1 on the season. Looking ahead for the Bone Crushers, they'll play their next game right here at home in 2 weeks. On April the 10th, they're scheduled to play here against the San Antonio Sharks. 3rd down play for the Bone Crushers. Keith Radix, the quarterback. Long count, high snap. Handoff right side. Flores tripped up, down he goes. Tackle made that time by the Tornadoes. Carl Hopes dropped Flores in his tracks, and it brings up 4th down. Defense has been the story. It was a drive that started inside the 10 for the Tornadoes. A couple of penalties got him back inside the 3, and then a pick 6 on 3rd down. Only points scored. 4th down, Bone Crushers appear to be going for it right now. Trying to draw them off sides, a high snap. They'll get it and get a kick away. It's a high, short kick. Take a bounce, fielded by a Tornado at the 30-yard line, and they'll have it right there. Jakad Mueder that time thought he could make a big play for the Tornadoes. That's a dangerous play to make in traffic on a punt that was going to already give you good field position. But nonetheless, the Tornadoes will have it at the 30-yard line of the Bone Crushers, trailing 8-0 here in this game. Taj Body remains a quarterback for the Tornadoes. Eludes it, now he hands it off. This is a run by Chase Smith. Smith is going to be driven back, then thrown down. As the Bone Crushers will all over that play. One of the guys back there was Jesse Villarreal. They'll at least give Smith credit of getting back to the line of scrimmage. Just 45 yards of offense for the Tornadoes here in the first half. On the ground, 13 carries, 26 yards as a team, 45 yards of offense, 3 of 6 in the passing game for 45 yards. For Body, keeps 2 backs in the backfield on this play. Right side is Gil Cuesta. And short yardage gained out across the 30. As DeAndre Wojtowski with the carry. Fourth down, make that third down and 10 for the Tornadoes. Two receivers left side. Snap is dropped, they'll pick it up, and nothing doing, a sack on the play. Chase Smith in at quarterback had no prayer on that. And he'll be dropped for a major loss. And it'll be punting time for this Tornado team. Right now they're lining up as if they want to go for it. They got to get across the 20-yard line of the Bone Crushers to get a first down. Short punt formation. They'll get it back. Look to throw out of this, though. Sling it down left side. Got a receiver there, but it's incomplete. And it'll be a turnover on downs, and the Bone Crushers will take over. 8-0 your score. Bone Crushers have the football right after this.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
The Harlingen.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, we're in the second quarter with 5 minutes and 31 seconds left. In this first half, Bone Crushers with an 8-0 lead. In the football, they'll start a drive at their own 36. Bone Crushers on the offensive end, 64 yards, all of that on the ground. And they start this drive without the services of Damon Williams, who remains on the sidelines after that last drive. The tailback in the game, Edward Clark, back there with Radix. And Clark will take it on his first carry, bounce it outside, cuts it back upfield, gains 5 on the play, takes it out across the 40. Good cut back by Edward Clark. The replay, you'll see this. Take defenders with you and then cut them back on a dime. And a good 5 yards for the Bone Crushers. Ball at the 41. Clock running here for the Bone Crushers on a second down play. Radix directing some traffic over there on that right side, has 2 receivers out there. A lot of pressure shown up the middle by the Tornadoes, and here they come. They'll hand it off, and that goes nowhere. Tornadoes were all over that. Number 92, the first guy through there for the Tornadoes. That's Jeffrey Flowers. Hard to miss him as he's coming through there. A loss on the play for the Bone Crushers brings it back to third, and now every bit of 7 yards to go. They'll have to take it just across the 50 or the 45, around the 46. You get to the 46, you get a first down for the Bone Crushers. Radix brings him up. Two receivers swing out wide left. Jesse Villarreal wide left on this third down play. Radix waits. High snap, rolls right side. Looking, hesitates, now gonna sling it downfield. It's caught inside the 40. Catch made for the Bone Crushers by Kebron Ellis. And on the replay, watch Ellis reel this one in. $17 yards on the completed pass as Radix finds Ellis. Bone Crusher drive continues. This is now at the 40-yard line of the Tornadoes. Radix keeps Clark back there with him in the backfield. Twin receivers right side on this first down play. This is Clark. Hit, drives forward, ends up gaining 5 on the play as he got down to the 35. First guy back there with an opportunity was Rudy Arevalo. Looked like he had a chance to drop Clark for no gain. Clark somehow found another gear and ended up gaining 5. 2nd and 5 for the Bone Crushers. We reached the 2-minute mark. They stopped the clock. Haven't called a timeout just yet, but they have stopped the clock with 2 minutes remaining in the half. Bone Crushers up to the line of scrimmage. Two receivers out to the right. Now official does spot that it is a 2-minute warning. And they'll send this team to the sideline. 2-minute warning has arrived as our coverage of little bonus football coverage in the month of March. Big South Football League with the Bone Crushers and the Tornadoes. We'll be back with more right after this.
Experience looks something like this. Let's see that again. To learn more about the HCISD elementary experience, visit hcisd.org.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
America.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, and the Bone Crushers have the football. 2nd down and 5 after the 2-minute warning, and they'll start play. Braddock's going to keep it, takes it upfield, got a first down inside the 30, drives down to the 25-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain. Keith Raddick's called his own number. Now they blow the play dead. Tried to unpile the pile. Clock keeps running. But that'll move the chains. Congratulations to the Kingsville Empire on the women's football for capturing the championship game tonight against the South Texas Generals in women's full contact football. So we had that tonight. We've got the men's football here tonight. We've got soccer going on at the high school level, and we also have baseball today and softball going on right now as we speak. Raddick's on a first down play. For the Bone Crushers, waits, good snap, looks to throw quickly over the middle and caught to the 20-yard line. Blow that play dead as a player came up, shaken up a little bit. Let's go back to that pass. Raddick's wasted no time, big target there. On the reception. Kevron Ellis on the catch. For Ellis, his second catch of the first half. And the Bone Crushers have a first and goal after they tacked on some penalty yardage after the play. Ball down just at the 10-yard line for the Bone Crushers. Raddick's a high snap, has to go chase it down, gets a kind bounce, and it right into the hands of Oscar Flores, and Flores ends up getting back inside the 15. And that was just near disastrous. Take a look at this snap. Flores turned that into something for the Bone Crushers. Have to burn a timeout. With 23 ticks left here in the first half. And we'll be back with more after this.
We have many soldiers, from the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history. There are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellent.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, and the Bone Crushers have it after calling a timeout. Looking to throw, back corner of the end zone, overthrown, incomplete. Stops the clock with 19 seconds left here in the first half. Thus far, the only points on the board through a defensive pick six for the Bone Crushers. Raddick's misfired on that one. Third and goal. Football outside the 10 because of a bad snap. Bone Crushers bring him up. Two receivers at the short side of the field on the right. Two out here to the left for Raddick's. That's Clark in the backfield with Raddick's on this third and goal play. Good snap, looks to throw in the middle. It's going to be picked off, and here we come the other way for the Tornadoes. Down the left sideline, out across the 20, 25, 30, and more. 40, 50, 45, 40. Down to the 30, 25-yard line. And that's the way the first half will come to an end. Unless they throw a flag at the end of that, I'm going to wait and just make sure that doesn't occur. and they'll say that it's halftime. What a way to end it. We'll be back. I'll play you the first half highlights. You'll see that interception and more after this on Real Sports Live.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
A Piece of Cake by Ibarras in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibarras, try a Texas-style cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibarras in Harlingen.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Hi, I'm Rodo Rodriguez, and
Back here on Rio Sports Live as we're at halftime. 8-0 your score. The Tornadoes and the Bone Crushers. Bone Crushers on top. And here's the first half highlights. But these lights will take care of that. Taj Body, the quarterback for the Tornadoes, takes it, hands it off. Man hit in the backfield, got forward, will not get to the line of scrimmage. Down he goes. Radix on a long count, takes it, hands it off. Room again in the secondary to the 30. Still on his feet inside the 25, down to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Damon Williams takes it to the house. Unless they, for some reason, blew his momentum dead as he was eluding a tackle. 4th and 5 for the Bone Crushers. They'll go for it. Heretics takes a snap. Gonna keep it, bounces forward, gets hit, and will not make it. With him in the backfield. Overloads the right side with the receivers. Here comes a blitz. They pick it up. He slings a pass left side. Picked off. 10, 5, touchdown. With him in the backfield. Overloads the right side with the receivers. Here comes a blitz. They pick it up. He slings a pass left side. Picked off. 10, 5, touchdown. Easy pickings. Looks to throw. Right side, it's in the end zone. Caught, 2-point conversion is good. Low snap, they'll hand it off. Bounce it outside. This is Williams. Williams has some room across the 30. Drug down at the 35. It's a 15-yard gain. Bone Crushers appear to be going for it right now. Trying to draw them off sides. A high snap. They'll get it and get a kick away. It's a high, short kick. Take a bounce. Fielded by a Tornado at the 30-yard line. And they'll have it right there. Two receivers left side. Snap is dropped. They'll pick it up. And nothing doing, a sack on the play. Tailback in the game, Edward Clark back there with Radix. And Clark will take it on his first carry. Bounce it outside, cuts it back upfield, gains 5 on the play, takes it out across the 40. Radix waits. High snap, rolls right side, looking, hesitates, now gonna sling it downfield. It's caught inside the 40. And the Bone Crushers have the football. 2nd down and 5 after the 2-minute warning. And they'll start play. Raddick's going to keep it. Takes it upfield. Got a first down inside the 30. Drives down to the 25-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain. For the Bone Crushers, waits. Good snap. Looks to throw quickly over the middle and caught to the 20-yard line. And it right into the hands of Oscar Flores, and Flores ends up getting back inside the 15. And that was just near disaster. That's Clark in the backfield with Radix on this 3rd and goal play. Good snap, looks to throw in the middle. It's going to be picked off, and here we come the other way for the Tornadoes. Down the left sideline, out across the 20, 25, 30, and more. 40, 50, 45, 40. Down to the 30, 25-yard line.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. There are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
And that's your first half highlights here on Rio Sports Live as the South Texas Bone Crushers are on top of the Central Texas Tornadoes by the score of 8-0. Our coverage of Big South Football League. Football action on a Saturday continues after this on Rio Sports Live.
For 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation for building some of the finest agents in the industry. I help to manage that process from day one. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business, then I would like to show you how I can help.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Since COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants, and so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Back here on Rio Sports Live as they're counting down the time before we start the second half. Tornadoes and Bone Crushers, want to remind you, we may have baseball action coming your way tomorrow afternoon from Robstown. I'm still working on the details on that. But I'm certain Monday through Thursday of next week will be jam-packed with coverage as high school soccer reaches the second round in the playoffs. Softball action is ramping up into, in many cases, the second time through on district play. I know we've got a big game on Tuesday night in Alice on the girls softball side. Baseball action also, and we've got this week a couple of track meets that we'll be featuring. One will be on April 1st, and that'll be coming from Mercedes. Looking further ahead on April 3rd, be watching for that one as we're going to team up with Harlingen School District and ramp up with multiple cameras and coverage of the 32-6A district meet, which normally is held in Westaco, but due to COVID conditions, they didn't want to host it this year. what I was told. And nonetheless, it will be a broadcast coming your way from Harlingen. And excited for that one as track reaches a high level of the district meets. We've also got wrestling coverage just around the corner. More water polo coverage coming your way this week, coming up. And who knows what else we'll find to broadcast. Here tonight, it's football at the beyond high school level. We'll be back with more after this on Rio Sports Live.
Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
Since COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants, and so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
And he throws it down. Oh! See you later, touchdown.
The Harlingen CISD elementary experience looks something like this. Let's see that again. To learn more about the HCISD elementary experience, visit hcisd.org.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, we get ready to start the second half, okay? But let's take a poll here on the fans that are watching. When we were handed rosters, we were told this is the Central Texas Tornadoes. I come from the Midwest where we pronounce the spelling of this tornadoes. So to fans that are watching on our YouTube, I'm tuning into some of the comments there. Preference from a fan's perspective, tornadoes, tornadoes. Makes no difference to me. I'll call it the way the fans want to hear it in this case. Quarterback starting the game for the Tornadoes was Taj Body. Chase Smith replaced him. So we'll keep that in mind as well as we continue to bring you our coverage here tonight from John Paul II. Bone Crushers will get the ball to start the second half. We'll take a break when we come back. Second half kickoff after this on Rio Sports Live.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
And he throws it down. Oh! See you later, touchdown.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
Back here on Rio Sports Live, you see the Tornadoes out there are ready to kick the ball off. I can go that way. I'm from the Midwest. We can go tornado, doesn't matter with me. Heard it pronounced both ways. We were just going with what we was given the roster. We're trying to appease those that are good enough to bring the rosters to us and go over some of the players that are on the field before this broadcast. 15 minutes on the clock as we get starting the third quarter. A pick six by the Bone Crushers, the only points on the board. Short kickoff, fielded at the 40, out across the 45. And that's where the Bone Crushers will take over. They'll be without the services of their leading ball carrier in the first half, Damon Williams. 4 carries, 56 yards on the night, but on that final carry, came up with an injury and has been on the sidelines ever since. Again, continue to watch the pronunciation here. Waiting to see what the fans want to hear. Tornadoes, tornadoes. See some of the comments wondering what direction we're going to go. I'm good. Just let me know. Bone Crushers have the football. Going left to right. On a first down play from their own 47-yard line. Bone Crushers had 109 yards of offense in the first half. Outgained the opponents. Here's a running play right side, and that's a bunch. Inside the 25, down to the 15-yard line. A huge carry on the first play from scrimmage for Oscar Flores. Flores nearly took that to the house. And it sets up first down for the Bone Crushers. Mark the ball down at the 13-yard line for the Bone Crushers. Trying to double up on the scoreboard here in the opening moments of the third quarter. Long count again on first down. Handoff, running play will go nowhere. Central Texas with a big stop that time. And little to no gain on the play. In fact, a loss on the play of, and they'll give a yard carry on that. In the negative direction, 2nd and 11. Flores in the backfield, lines up to the right side of Heratics. 2 receivers left, 2 out to the right-hand side for the Bone Crushers on 2nd down and long. Pressure coming from that right side for the Tornadoes, and they'll roll away from that. Heratics going to keep it, runs, drags a man, got down back to the 15-yard line. Short gain for Keith Radix, the quarterback. That'll be his 3rd carry for 15 yards on the night. The Central Texas Tornadoes against the South Texas Bone Crushers. South Texas with the football. We can go that direction. South Texas or Central Texas. Team in the black and white out of Central Texas, primarily out of Tyler, we were told. Taking on this South Texas team. Lining up again, a 4-receiver set on 3rd down. Just underway, opening up the third quarter of play from Corpus Christi, Texas. Radix rolls out, going to run all the way, dives it inside the 5. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. Quarterback keeper, and Radix makes it 14-0.
Sherryland.
Right-hand side on our Josh Moody replay. Good blocking out there, cuts it up, and then just easy pickings on his way for the score. $14-0 ball game. Bone Crushers have scored now on the offensive end, and their defense set the table with the first score of the night. Extra point, they'll go for this. Bounce it outside, and that's no good. Kevron Ellis tried to stretch forward, just couldn't get in. 14-0. Kickoff coming up after this.
Recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles, how about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Back here ready for the kickoff, and the Bone Crushers with a 14-0 lead. That's the best their offenses look, but it was a big part of that, a 46-yard run by Oscar Flores on a carry. Flores now with Damon Williams have assisted the team, going over 100 yards in rushing with the two combined. Flores in replacing Williams, who went down earlier. Kickoff is a short kick, fielded out across the 40, across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Peyton Merckx that time on the return. And a player shaken up on that return for Central Texas. 12 minutes left here in this third quarter. Reminding you, we'll have highlights of this game up a little bit later on. And we'll have coverage of this Bone Crusher team, which is in action once again at home after a week off for the Easter break. They'll be here on the 10th, taking on the San Antonio Sharks. 14-0 ball game. We'll take a break for the injury. We'll be right back.
See you later, touchdown.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
Back here in Corpus Christi, Texas, and the player shaken up for Central Texas makes his way off the field. That's Andre Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh will be assisted, but hopefully he'll be able to return to the playing field. We're in the third quarter. as our coverage of the Big South Football League continues here on Rio Sports Live. Those watching on our Facebook, share the link, help other fans know these games are going on. I know our first time around covering this Bone Crusher team, it took a while to generate the fans to know where to go to watch the game. We're seeing more activity now on the YouTube channel. Roku going as well. Twitter also with live coverage. I call this the football beyond high school type of a league. It's a variation of players who still have a lot left in the tank and players who are still trying to just hang in there and get a little extra playing time on the football field. Pretty competitive here this evening between these two ball clubs, one from Tyler and one from here in the Coastal Bend. Thing you'll notice about any of the coverage on Rio Sports Live when I started this 4 years ago is that we'll stick to our guns on it. Doesn't matter which team you're rooting for. You'll get an unbiased approach to the broadcast. You'll hear no we's, ours, theirs, and any reference whatsoever. Back to action. First down play. And they'll hand it off. Bouncing it right side, now reversing it upfield, but nowhere to go. And down he goes. Witowski on the carry. By the time they bring him down, it'll be a loss on the play. They'll mark forward progress back to the 41. That's pretty generous. So when they move the chain, call it a loss of 6. For Central Texas. Quarterback Chase Smith. Going to run himself up the middle. Hit hard as he got back to the 45. Ends up gaining 3 on the play. But quickly, third down. The Central Texas team. Ball right at the 45. They've got to get it down to the Bone Crusher 42 to get a first down. Smith sets him down. Hands it off. Running play right side, hitting the backfield, driving forward. A couple yards gained by Eric Walker, but not much there. Fourth down for the Central Texas Tornadoes. Just underway here in the second half. They do have 15-minute running. Well, it's not running clock. This is traditional clock management. So 15-minute quarters across the board. Tornadoes trying to answer as the first drive of the second half tacked on 6 points for the Bone Crushers to increase the lead to the current 14-0. Smith takes the snap, drops back to throw, delivers a ball left side, nearly picked off, incomplete. Deion Boyd back there defending. Really, Boyd, he knew all he had to really do was knock that ball down. You're going to get the better field position on the exchange on a turnover on downs. Stops our clock with 9:13 remaining here in the third quarter. And the South Texas Bone Crushers are back on the field with the offense starting a drive. And Central Texas at their 47. A lot of defense played in the first half by both of these teams. Bone Crushers have established most of their offense on the ground. Heretics takes a snap. They'll run. Penalty flag is thrown in the secondary as that play is stopped. Flores dropped after a short loss of about 3, but now we'll sort out that penalty, which was thrown by the back judge. And they'll mark it off against Central Texas. 5-yard infraction. For the most part, we've played penalty-free football. There's been a couple. But a clean shake as far as that goes. Here this evening. Still first down, now 5 yards to go for the Bone Crushers. 2 backs in the backfield, flank Heretics on either side. 2 receivers left, single receiver right. They're bunching up the middle again. And they'll bounce it to the outside. This is Flores. Tries to turn the corner, runs past a man, through another. Down to the 22-yard line, a big gain. Flores on another huge carry. And watch how he just races through the first defender. And then in the open field, turns on the jets and drug a couple more for the extra yardage. Flores now 5 carries, 68 yards unofficially. Bone Crushers from the 23 of the Central Texas Tornadoes. Radix taking his time. Good snap. He's going to keep it. Looking for a block. Turns the corner, but it gets drilled, and down he goes. Lost a yard. Meeting over there on the outside to make that tackle was Eric Walker. Radix had a thought that he was going to be able to cut back upfield. Walker said nothing doing. 2nd and 11 after a loss of a yard. Bone Crushers in that white uniforms at home here with the green trim. Tornadoes in the black and white. Radix on 2nd down. Has been going with long counts. And here comes a penalty. That'll be a false start against the Bone Crushers. Takes it back 5 yards. And as they mark it down, Bone Crushers will face a 2nd and now 16 to go. Rudy Zamaripa Jr. on the camera tonight. As we start to wrap up more of the high school stuff, you'll see us expanding with more and more camera angles for these broadcasts. We were out working with a drone this morning trying to put together some stuff. We'll probably have some drone coverage in the very near future on some of our broadcasts as well. Bone Crushers on 2nd down and 15, or call it 16 for Heretics. Short snap, takes it, slings it right side, and it's overthrown incomplete. Looking for Eric Correll. It's one of those timing passes. Radix had to get rid of it in a hurry. It was a soft snap. And when you're a quarterback standing back there and that ball's taking forever to get to you and you already see pressure coming up the middle, you just have to get rid of it and hope your receiver can find that next gear to catch up with a pass like that. Nothing doing on this particular play. 3rd down and 16. Clock stops with 5:33 left here in the 3rd. Radix is ready. Better snap this time. Rolls out right side, delivers a pass tipped and incomplete. Off the hands of Kevron Ellis. Ellis has a couple of catches tonight. Couldn't hang on there. And fourth down for the Bone Crushers. Central Texas would like to get a stop here. They'd like to just get that offense clicking. Bone Crushers now outgained them 175 to 37 in total offense unofficially. Dominating defensive effort by the Bone Crushers here this evening thus far. 4th and 16 now. Radix will line up under center with an I formation behind him. They'll need to get inside the 15 to get a first down. Radix pitches it back right side. Ball dropped, picked up, nothing doing. Turnover on downs as that play never developed. Kevron Ellis was the guy they wanted to carry the ball, but Ellis really had nothing to work with there as that ball was laying on the ground, bouncing around. He just got on it and said, okay, defense has done the job thus far. Let's stake with that. And the Bone Crusher D will make their way on the field. There was a good crowd on hand here for the early game. That was just an outright blowout. It was 37-0 when we got here, and it was at halftime. As we get more information on this league, we'll be able to expand our coverage here. I assure you that. Even looking to go into the San Antonio games, and even Tyler, once we get through much of the high school stuff that we're covering. First down play, pass play, that's going to be picked off. And here come the Bone Crushers down the left-hand side, and they'll take it to the house for a second time. Second pick six of the game. And you'll see on the play there was nothing but Bone Crushers around this ball. And a pick six as Juan Mendoza is able to take it in and make it a 20-0 game. Extra point coming up for the Bone Crushers. Second pick six of the game. They'll take their time. They'll have to hurry to get this play off in time for the extra point. Defense makes the play. There's now a discussion going on before we get to that extra point. Officials talking it over as one of the, well, now I see one of the tornadoes that went down well beyond the play, back around the point where the interception took place. So he'll make his way off to the sidelines unassisted. And now they'll line up for this extra point for the Bone Crushers. They went for two on their first two scores, were successful on the first, didn't make it on the second. And this the third time they've been in the end zone as they line up here for a two-point conversion. Radix, the quarterback. Bad snap. He picks it up, rolls right, fires right side, end zone. Man there, two-point conversion, good. It was a bad snap. You'll see on the replay. The composure by Radix. And then the receiver was just literally wide open as a defender had fallen down. 22-0 your score. And the Bone Crushers will kick it off after this.
A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibadas, try a Texas-style cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen.
And he throws it down. Oh! See you later, touchdown.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
Back here on Rio Sports Live, whether it be on our Twitter feed, whether it be on our Facebook or our YouTube, our Roku channel, or when we have our games on our website. I do appreciate everyone that's tuning into our broadcast here this evening. I'm Joe Bowling, the owner of Rio Sports Live, my wife, Dahlia. Rudy Zamaripa Jr. tonight on the camera. As we bring you coverage here in the Coastal Bend. Kickoff by the Bone Crushers. Shorter kick this time, returnable, takes a bounce. Picked up at the 15 for Central Texas. They'll take it right side of the field, out across the 20 in a hurry to the 30 and the 35-yard line. Chase Smith on the return. And now Central Texas will have to dial up something on the offensive end as they trail by 3 scores here in this third quarter of play. And up and down, it's just been stingy defense, to say the least, by the Bone Crushers. The passing game, 3 of 9 with 2 interceptions for the Tornadoes. And the running attack, 18 carries and an average of 1 yard per run. Going to take a break as they brought an ambulance over for one of the players that was taken off the field earlier. So that crew will make their way across the field. As they do so, they take a break. We'll take one too. Football coverage continues after this on Rio Sports Live.
Hi, I'm Roldo Rodriguez, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation for building some of the finest agents in the industry. I help to manage that process from day one. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business, then I would like to show you how I can help.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, and we're set for action as the Central Texas Tornadoes have the football. Trailing by 3 scores. Chase Smith remains in at quarterback, lines up with a single back to his left-hand side, and on first down, looks to throw, has time, rifles one downfield, and it's picked off again. They'll mark it down at the 41-yard line of the Tornadoes, and watch on our Josh Moody replay on your right side of your screen. A ball overthrown a bit. But the clean interception and a turnover just like that. Gives the ball to the Bone Crushers. And their offense is immediately on the field. 22-0 your score. Bone Crushers with 175 yards of offense unofficially. 146 on the ground. Just 29 through the air. It all started with Damon Williams setting the table. 4 carries, 56 yards before he went down with an injury. Oscar Flores is picked right up with 5 carries, 68 yards. And on first down, here come the Bone Crushers. Running play left side. Gets out across the 43 to the 44. Another carry for Flores. And it wasn't like Flores took the baton on a sprint from Damon Williams after Williams went down, because Flores' first carry was negative yards. He gained 3 and then 1 and then busted a 46-yard run to start this second half. Another 21 yards on a carry. So he's had 2 big carries to accumulate most of his now 70 yards on the ground. They had another player shaken up. Again, they're still working with that player, and we'll take a quick break. This is Rio Sports Live.
See you later, touchdown.
Since COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants, and so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
Back here, and again, the paramedics are working with one of the players off on the far side of the field. So they'll probably take another break if they do indeed have to bring that player back across. They parked the vehicle behind the press box here on the home side at John Paul II School. Back to action here. A little Saturday night football for you with the Big South Football League. Bone Crushers with a football and a lead. Radix waits for the snap. Good snap, hands it off. Flores bounces it outside. Looking for a block, turns a corner, midfield stripe, drug down. But that's a 9-yard gain, make it 10 for Flores. And the chains will move for the Bone Crushers. Flores now with 80 yards on the ground. Marked down at the 49 of the Tornadoes. The first half, the Bone Crushers had some impressive drives in which they ate up a lot of time off the clock. First quarter was over in the blink of an eye between the two teams. Third quarter's had some injuries, which has slowed us down a bit. Radix is ready for the snap on a first down play. Sees that defense creeping up again by the Tornadoes and hands it off. This is Edward Clark. Clark will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on that play. And we've saw that by the Tornadoes too. Their defense has been in position and has made multiple stops in this game in which they've tackled a ball carrier for a loss. But when the Bone Crushers break it, they break it for big carries. And then you add the defensive plays made by the Bone Crushers. 3 interceptions, 2 of those returned for touchdowns. That's a big difference maker in this contest. Second down and call it 11 for the Bone Crushers. Radix rolls out, fakes the pitch, keeps it, takes it across the 50, 45 to the 40 and more. 35-yard line. That's a first down. Watch the patience of Radix on this carry. And just the outright strength at the end of that to carry a couple extra defenders with him. Marked the ball down at the 35 of the Central Texas Tornadoes. I got rosters given to me tonight, but what I've been asking for on this league is I'd like to know a little background information on players, where they're from, where they played their high school ball at, and what they're doing now. Because, again, this is a mix of players at various levels of football beyond high school. First down play for the Bone Crushers. Radix rolls out right side, looking, delivers a ball. That's going to be picked off by the Tornadoes down the sideline, and they may take it back to the middle of the field to the 30, and they will take it to the house. Touchdown. Pick 6 for the Tornadoes. Deshaun DJ Legger stepped in front and took it all the way. And did some nice running. You talk about yards after the catch. How about yards after the interception? And so between the two teams, that's our third pick 6 of the game. And the Central Tornadoes have a little life on the scoreboard. Six points tallied up, and they'll go for the extra point. They're shuffling players on and off the field. And again, they're waiting for them to bring a player across the field. Being assisted by the medics. One of the Tornadoes, so we hope he's okay. And now they'll set down for the 2-point conversion. Chase Smith is ready. Rolls out right side, pressured. Gets away from a man, now takes it upfield. 2-point conversion is good. Chase Smith with some nifty running. And you'll see here, they had every intention of dropping him and could have, should have, would have on the tackle. But nothing doing as Smith was ever elusive here. Missed tackle there. And carried a man in for the 2-point conversion. Kickoff coming up. Tornadoes trail the Bone Crushers 22-8. This is Real Sports Live.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
And we're back here for the kickoff, and the Central Texas Tornadoes, a breath of life as their defense is able to score points. They line up now for the kickoff, trailing 22-8. A short kick takes a bounce. That's a live football, and it's still live. Who's got it? Bone Crushers say they got it. But so do the Tornadoes. Now we'll wait for them to settle it down. Bone Crushers end up with the ball, but watch this thing bounce around on the replay. This is a live football with some backspin there. Bone Crushers fortunate to get on that one. 22-8 your score. Radix in this offense had been doing just a good job of ball control, keeping the ball on the ground. They went through the air on that last possession that led to the pick 6. See if they go right back to Oscar Flores with a heavy dose here. Flores is to the left of Radix on first down from their own 48. Here comes Flores right side with some room. Got a block, turns it upfield. Now this is Edward Clark. Clark ends up gaining 10 on the play. $20 yards for Clark. He's now got 3 carries for 25 yards, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter coming up. Our coverage continues here in Corpus Christi of the Big South Football League, the Bone Crushers and the Tornadoes. This is Real Sports Live.
Since COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants, and so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
Back here on Real Sports Live, we head to the fourth quarter. 15 minutes on the clock, 22-8 the score, and we've had 4 touchdowns scored this evening. 3 of those have come on pick sixes. The defense has indeed been a big part of tonight's scoring. First play of the fourth quarter is a 2nd and 1 for the Bone Crushers. They'll hand it off and drive forward. That's not enough for a first down. Carried by Kevron Ellis. He'll actually lose a half yard on that play. He's got 2 carries now on the night. Third down. Still short yardage to go for the Bone Crushers. Call it 2. They spot the ball just inside the 44 of the Tornadoes. Radix sets him down. Offset eye behind him now, as he'll go under center. Scans the defense. And you don't see a play clock here, but they are winding it down to the absolute last second before taking the snaps on many of these calls. Radix keeps it, drove forward, did not get a first down. And now decision time here for the Bone Crushers, as it's 4th and a yard to go. Fourth and 1 from their opponent's 43-yard line for the Bone Crushers. Radix brings him up. 2 backs in the backfield behind him. And before the snap, timeout is called. Bone Crushers want to talk it over. 13:02 left in the fourth. Big fourth down coming up after this.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
The Harlingen CISD elementary experience looks something like this. Let's see that again. To learn more about the HCISD elementary experience, visit hcisd.org.
Back here on Rio Sports on a Saturday night from Corpus Christi. 4th and 1 for the Bone Crushers, leading 22-8 here in the fourth quarter. Radix under center. They bunch up behind him. Takes it, drives forward, gets a good push, and has plenty for a first down as the chains will move. Put the ball down at the 40-yard line. On this first down play. Radix is ready on 1st and 10 from the 40 of the Tornadoes. Handoff, and that goes nowhere. The strength of Flores carried him back to the line of scrimmage. He was met head on and dropped. As that defender was there literally as the handoff was taking place. Second down, they did mark it for a loss of a yard, so 2nd and 11 for the Bone Crushers. Up 2 scores, they're in no hurry. They've been in real no hurry, no sense of urgency. Just a business-like approach. Getting it done on the offensive end. Movement before the snap, and they'll blow that dead. Both sides pointing in the direction of the other. And will walk a direction against the Tornadoes. 5-yard variety. Still 2nd down. Now call it 2nd and 7. For the Tornadoes. Crank the clock up. Plenty of time on the play clock for the Bone Crushers here. Radix keeps it. Got back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. The original line of scrimmage. Chain Gang says it's 2nd down. Should be 3rd. See if they flip that switch. Bone Crushers up to the line. Should be a 3rd and 7. Radix out of a shotgun. Hands it off on a delay. That is up the middle. Flores is uplifted as he got to the 35, driven back. No quit in Flores as he actually was picked up. As soon as his feet hit the ground, he was churning away again. Ends up credited with no gain on the play. And now it is 4th down for the Bone Crushers. Radix is ready. 4th and 5. Tornadoes would like to get a stop here. Bone Crushers get another first down. They can take more time off the clock. Needing 5, they hand it to Flores. He'll get 3. That's it. Turnover on downs. And the Central Texas Tornadoes have a little more life here. Trailing 22-8. And here's the question on offense for this team. Where does it come from against this Bone Crusher defense? 37 yards of offense. 19 through the air, 18 on the ground. With 8 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Ball at the 35-yard line. 2 pick sixes in the ball game for the Bone Crushers. So if you think through the air, well, 3 interceptions in their last 5 attempts. 2 of those for scores. They'll look to throw here. Smith chased, waits, delivers, overthrows, incomplete. Looking for DeAndre Watoski. And an incomplete pass. Three of 10 in the passing game, make it 3 of 11 for the Central Texas Tornadoes. 2nd and 10 from their own 35. Up to the line is Chase Smith. 2 receivers left, 2 more to the right side, 1 back in the backfield. Smith appears to be changing the play at the line. Takes a low snap, pressured out of the pocket, rolls right side, now runs across the 40, 45, spins to the 50, and a first down. What a carry that time by Chase Smith. And watch the change of speed here. After he knows he got through the first wave of defenders. Good job of staying in bounds right there and getting an extra 7 yards on that play. Ball at the 45. That's easily the biggest gain from scrimmage on the night for the Tornadoes. On a carry by Chase Smith. Ball at the Bone Crushers 45. Smith rolls out. Now he's going to run up the middle. Has some room. Takes it across the 40. Down to about the 37. That's 7 more yards for Chase Smith. Make it a 6-yard gain. Tornadoes have found a little offense production here in the late stages of this game. Smith is ready. 2 receivers left. Looks right, pressured, steps up, jumps over a man, and then is dropped, lost a couple yards. He was dancing around back there and finally dropped by Brandon Jones, who was able to make the stop. Third down. And now 9 yards to go for the Central Texas Tornadoes. Marcus Taylor lines up wide left. Joining him is DeMarco Diaz-Fernandez. 2 receivers right. Wide right is DeAndre Watoski. for Chase Smith. Here comes pressure up the middle. He's going to run up the middle, right back through that. Got inside the 40, then thrown backwards. 3 players converged there for the Bone Crushers. First guy to meet him was Kevron Ellis. Short of first down yardage for Chase Smith, and 4th and 4 coming up for this Tornado team. This is reminiscent of a couple of drives early in the game in which they did gain some yards, earn a couple of first downs. But really from that first quarter until now, the Bone Crusher defense has just absolutely shut this team down. Needing 4 yards here. Smith is ready, slings a pass. That's going to be picked off down the right-hand side for a 3rd time. It's going to be a pick 6 for the Bone Crushers. Easy picking, 6 more. What a play. And that may seal it. You talk about a gift wrap pick 6. Here it is again. And just coasting down the sidelines for the touchdown. On 4th down, the Bone Crushers turn that into a 3rd score of the night defensively. $20-point lead for the Bone Crushers. They bring in the offense for the 2-point conversion. Players shuffling in from the sideline for the Bone Crushers. With 3:52 left here in this ball game. Three times the Bone Crusher defense has found a way to score in this game. That's a difference in the ball game. 2-point conversion attempt. Back corner. Caught. Good 2-point conversion. Catch made by Eric Correll. And the Bone Crushers back up by 22. Kickoff coming up after this.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
America has...
Back here, and we're ready for the kickoff as the Bone Crushers have extended their lead back out to 22 points over the Central Texas Tornadoes. Reminding you we'll have highlights of this game later on that you'll be able to watch. So often on games like this, it's when everyone gets home, they want to rewatch these games. And a lot of them go for the highlights. Onside kick attempt, but that's recovered by the Tornadoes. At the 44-yard line of the Bone Crushers. Falling on that ball was Peyton Merks. And so the Tornadoes will bring the offense back out on the field. Last time out, they had something going, but a 4th and 4 resulted in a pick 6. As momentum flipped back on the side of the Bone Crushers. Chase Smith will try to crank it back up again. Or is this Smith? This may be a new quarterback in the game. We'll take a look. First down play, a low snap is fumbled. They'll try to get it. It's a pile up there, and the Bone Crushers may have recovered that. Let's take a look. Say the Tornadoes got back on it. It is a new quarterback in the game. Isaiah Guerrero is the quarterback. A loss on that play of 3 yards. 2nd and 13. Guerrero stays in at quarterback. Smith lines up as a receiver now on the right side. Joined by Comer Marshall on that right side. Better snap this time. Looking to throw. That's overthrown, incomplete on a timing pattern. Trying to catch Comer Smith out of the backfield. 3rd and 13 coming up for the Tornadoes. Defense, defense, defense has been the story tonight for the Bone Crushers. 3rd and 14 for the Tornadoes. A lot of movement there. That'll result in a penalty. They also didn't have a player in. So that was either going to have to be a timeout by the Tornadoes or a snap with 10 men on the field. That's one of those where the penalty didn't hurt so bad. It was going to be 3rd and long either way. To get a first down, they'll need to get inside the 35-yard line of the Bone Crushers. And 3rd down here. Guerrero waits for the snap. Sees pressure lining up across up the middle. They'll back off. Here comes pressure from the side. Gets rid of the ball down the sideline. And another interception. Another pick by the secondary. And the Bone Crushers defense does it again. You'll see here the ball underthrown. And another pick. You were given a roster by the Bone Crushers. And number 16 was listed as Keith Radix. We were told right before the game started that 18 was Radix, but we weren't given the name of 16. We're going to find out because he's our player of the game. multiple interceptions, including returning for touchdowns here tonight. Bone Crusher offense on the field. Radix hands off, and this is Flores in the secondary. Drives out across the 35. That's 13 more yards for Oscar Flores. Clock running as the Bone Crushers will be in no hurry. We will get a stoppage for the 2-minute warning. Our coverage here on a Saturday night coming your way of the Big South Football League. And there's your 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left in this one. Bone Crushers with the lead.
Many soldiers, from the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Back here at the 2-minute warning, John Paul II High School. We'll be back here on April 10th when the San Antonio Sharks are in town to take on this Bone Crusher team. Expanded coverage here of sports here on Rio Sports Live. Men's football beyond the high school years. Bone Crushers here from South Texas taking on the Central Texas team from Tyler. Bone Crushers offense now as Flores with 93 yards on the ground. He'll touch it again, drives to the line of scrimmage, doesn't get much there. Limited on the carry. We'll be naming our U.S. Army Player of the Game. Again, I'm going to tell you right now, it's the Bone Crushers number 16. And we'll have him posted on our social media. Multiple interceptions in the game, including a pick six to seal it. And then an interception on the last drive to finish putting this one out of the way for a victory for the Bone Crushers. Low snap, Radix picks it up, hands it off, and there's room down the left-hand side to the 50. It's a foot race down the sideline to the 40. Big gain that time for the Bone Crushers. Ron Coleman on the carry. And this is Coleman's first touch of the football on the night. Gained some big yards there. Bone Crushers will have to take one more snap. Radix takes a knee. And that will do it as the Bone Crushers win this one by the score of 30-8 over the Tornadoes. Defense set the table with interceptions, returning 3 for touchdowns. And then on the running game, Oscar Flores with 93 yards, Damone Williams with 56 yards on the ground. We'll give our player of the game to number 16. Again, we did not get a name for 16 because we were told 16 is actually 18. So we'll find out who number 16 is. But that's our player of the game for the Bone Crushers. Hope you enjoyed our broadcast. We're going to wrap it up. We got to take things away. Trey Thomas is our player of the game, our U.S. Army player of the game here on Real Sports Live. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Again, I'm going to run some replays for you a little bit later on, and we also invite you to come back and watch the actual full coverage of the game. Till next time, for Rudy Zamaripa Jr. on the camera, I'm Joe Bowling. So long.